Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Justin here at Delz, and today I'm very excited to be bringing you guys a commentary on how to get better in Call of Duty. The gameplay you guys will be seeing is me using the Honey Badger on Sovereign, me using the AK-12 on Prison Break, me using the SA-805 on Warhawk, and me using the AK-12 on Octane. So, getting into the video, this video is about what you can do to get better at Call of Duty Ghosts. And the first thing I want to talk about is jump shotting. I never used to jump shot in Call of Duty, and when I started, it actually brought my KD up. It actually almost doubled my KD. My KD is at a 1.9 right now, and it used to be at like a 1.15. And the only reason it's not in the like 2.5 ranges is because I trick shot. But I'm rambling on now. So next thing I want to talk about is play in the game modes that are easiest for you, but also make sure you try out all the game modes and give all the game modes like a chance. I never gave free-for-all a chance in this Call of Duty, but I have in past Call of Duties, and I didn't like it in past Call of Duties. But I gave it a chance in this Call of Duty, played maybe 10 games on it, and I loved it. So that's really all I'm playing right now, since I've really tried out everything. Crank's a good game mode, Blitz. Yeah, just play in the game modes that are easiest for you. The next thing I want to talk about is to play in parties. I myself don't actually do this very often, but when I do, I have my KD is like double as much as what it usually is. And another thing that will help you while playing in parties is to get a headset. You can hear enemies' footsteps a lot easier, and you can communicate, and those are some of the biggest things to getting better at Call of Duty. And the next thing I want to talk about is to find a sensitivity that's comfortable for you, but try to gradually increase your sensitivity. When I say gradually, I mean increase it by one like every week, and that might take a while, but I promise you'll get more used to it, and I promised over a long run, when you get used to it, it will be a lot better for you, and you'll be able to turn and aim faster, and everything will be a lot faster and smoother and easier for you once you get used to it. The sensitivities in this game go up to 20, and there isn't really a big difference between one sensitivity to the next, so just switching up your sensitivity, going up by one a week, you might notice it a little, but really you won't notice it very much. But the next thing, and one of the most important things, is don't be afraid to use what people refer to as noob weapons. Like in this game, some of the weapons people refer to as noob weapons are the AK-12, Remington, Honey Badger, MSBS. All the assault rifles, almost all the assault rifles in this game are really good, and try to use an assault rifle, because I think, in my opinion, these maps are a lot bigger than previous Call of Duties, and all of these maps almost fit as an assault rifle and not a SMG type map. But use whatever weapon you're comfortable with and play around a little bit. Some of the best attachments on the assault rifles I like to use AK-12, Honey Badger, and Remington. But some of the attachments to use on those guns, depending on the recoil and the iron sights, and then some guns actually have an integrated silencer, built-in silencer, like the Honey Badger, the K7, and I believe one other gun, but I can't think of it right now. But yeah, try to use two of those three attachments I just named, the grip silencer or red dot. Like a gun like the AK-12, you don't really need a red dot, you don't really need extra ammo, because it has 30 and it already has very good iron sights, so The best attachments for that gun would be the grip silencer, and as far as like the Honey Badger or the guns that have integrated silencers, then obviously the best attachments would probably be a grip and a red dot. Even if it has good recoil already, a grip will make it great recoil, and it's probably still better than extended mags or armor piercings, because armor piercing only helps you only helps the damage through the walls. It actually does not affect direct damage. And instead of using extended mags, I actually use sleight of hand on basically every single class in the game, even like assault rifles, SMGs, snipers, light machine guns when I use those, which isn't very often, but yeah. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about was to use your mini-map to your advantage. Don't constantly stare at the mini-map, but every once in a while, just take a quick peek at it and glance up and see who is by you. The reason I like to use a silencer is just to stay off of it, and people think it actually decreases your damage in this game, but it really doesn't. I've done tests that show that it doesn't decrease your damage, but it decreases your range. So it would decrease the range that your gun is like a 3-shot kill. Instead of being a 3-shot kill at that range, it's a 4-shot kill at that range, but the actual damage of the up close range does not go down from a silencer. So yeah. And then as far as perks in this game, I like to use focus, quick draw, and sleight of hand on every class. And as far as my free-for-all classes, I use amplify and dead silence. If you're playing in a lobby with people who have a lot of headsets, you definitely want to use dead silence, as people with headsets can hear you. Pretty easy, especially if they have amplify on, then they can hear you even easier. And that's just one big reason why I'd advise you guys to get a headset. And the next thing I want to talk about is, as far as class setups, I'd advise you guys not to use a secondary, I'd advise you guys not to use a lethal, and I'd also advise you guys not to use a tactical. In my opinion, I believe you should stock up on one weapon, and if you are good at getting big kill streaks, then use scavenger. I also use scavenger on almost all of my classes. I forgot to mention that earlier. But especially when I'm going for those chem strikes, then I always use scavenger. And fully loaded, I actually use, in free-for-all, I use fully loaded to start out with, and then I use specialist bonus and put scavenger in there as one of my last ones to unlock, so I can get up past those 20s. As far as the best kill streak setup in this game, I believe it is the specialist package. Some of the best perks, I believe, in this game that you can use that I haven't already mentioned yet, for the specialist bonus, would be ready up, stalker, quick draw, takedown, off the grid is a good one. I always use off the grid as one of my first few in this specialist. That way you can get really high into those kill streaks, because eventually someone's gonna get a SATCOM. Even if you're 40-0, someone else could be 6-20, so someone else will get a SATCOM, and you definitely need it off the grid, but I don't believe you need it right away. Some other good perks to use are wiretap. A lot of people use SATCOMs in this game, and wiretap makes it so their SATCOMs are basically yours. Some of the other perks that are good are ICU. It helps you regenerate health faster. That's always good. One that I would not use is Gambler, because I'm actually pretty sure if you use Gambler in your specialist package,
then you do not actually get a free perk. I thought that in a game before I've set that in my specialist package and I never got a free perk. So if you're going to use Gambler, you might as well just use it right away, because and don't mark my words on this, but I don't think you actually get it once you get the specialist. And I think that's the same for fully loaded too. So if you're going to run fully loaded, run it on your base perks. And then the last two perks I think are good for the specialist are ping and deadeye. Ping's always good. It's always good in almost any situation. If you're not really sure which pick you should use, ping's always the one you should look at. When you kill an enemy, it shows a little ping, a little radar coming off of them. That's actually kind of decent sized, and it will show other enemies. And then Deadeye, I know it's a lot of perk points, but it increases your damage, and basically nothing in this game other than that will increase your damage. And then the last but probably most important tip I can give you guys is not to rush right out into the middle. I kind of said this when I said stay on the outsides of the map. Don't camp, don't rush, but find a medium-sized area that you can hold down. It's not camping. Camping is sitting in a corner. What I mean by finding this area, medium-sized area, is to find a third of the map, depending on how big the map is, about a third on most maps, that you can just hold down and take control of. Maybe not a third, but like a fifth. A fifth's probably a lot better. If you guys enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like rating and subscribe. Every subscription and every like really helps me out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys next video.